Dear child of God, please relax. I know that God is working something out. Yes, sometimes it may take a long time, but your appointment will definitely come. Every one of us, every single individual on the face of the earth has an appointed time with God. And when your time comes, dear child of God, you will not miss it. You will not miss your day of favor. He says, yes, on that day I would remember you. That day that Rachel was supposed to be remembered came. Dear child of God, she had been praying. She had been waiting on God. She almost gave up at a particular point in time. But you see, when that time came that she was to be remembered, the scriptures recorded that God remembered her and opened a womb. Dear child of God, God shined his face towards that direction. Dear child of God, I want you to know today that God will bring forth his blessings. Everything that you so seek, the things that you have been desiring, God will bring them to you. He says, I will make it happen. He says, I would accomplish it. In the time of your favor, he said, I will do it. In the time of your remembrance, he's saying to you, I will show up. Sometimes you have become tired. Yes, it is true. Sometimes you have become weary. Yes, it is true. Sometimes you are fainting. Yes, it is true. But I want to assure you, God has not forsaken you. He said, I will in no wise despise you. He said, he will not cast you out. Dear child of God, he said he will not leave you without a witness. So you will know every day that God is working something out. Just be encouraged, dear child of God. You see, I don't know the reason why Abraham needed to wait for 25 years before the promise came, before there was a sign of the promise of God. But you see, God knows why. And this is the reason we need to keep going to God, despite the fact that we're not seeing things working the way we want them. What if what God is doing for you is more than the things you have been expecting to receive from him? Dear child of God, I've come to realize that the one who is dead cannot wait for a promise to come. It is the one who is alive. What if God have shown you mercy? Maybe you could have been destroyed for a long time. So you were praying for other things to come, but God was concerned about preserving you. And that was why he did not allow the evil ones to carry out their attacks against you. Yes, afflictions came, situations came, and God preserved you. The same things that destroyed other people could not destroy you because God preserved you. And it was keeping you there so that you can receive your blessing. It was keeping you alive so that he can bring his promises to pass. Dear child of God, God cannot be wrong. God can never miss it. God can never make mistakes. So when he says that when the time is right, I would accomplish it. I would hasten my word to come to pass. Dear child of God, believe it. He said, yes, you may be small today, but you'll become 1,000. You'll become the greatest. He says, you may look insignificant right now, but by the time his blessings come upon your life, dear child of God, you'll be the voice. You'll be the voice. You'll be the best thing happening around town. So believe God and trust the process. Trust the process. Yes, it was not beautiful for Joseph to wait all the times he waited. But when everything happened, when the time came for his showing forth to be manifested, dear child of God, he did not remember the pains anymore. He did not remember the days of struggles. You see, the days of his sorrows became insignificant because the blessings came and overshadowed everything that he had gone through. Dear child of God, that was why he said, for your shame, I will give you double. For the reproach, I will come and do it amazingly for you. Trust God. Believe him. Trust all he said he would do. And I want to assure you, without fail, he will come through for you. He will come through for you without fail, dear child of God. He will give you reasons to rejoice. He would give you your own testimonies. So when you don't see anything happening, please trust him. For he said, I will come. I would accomplish it. I will do it quickly. I will give you reasons to rejoice. He says, I am Jehovah, and I would hasten my word to come in its time. Dear child of God, take note of what he said. He said, in its time. So when your time comes, God will show up. You cannot miss that appointment. Sometimes you have been praying and it seems like you've gotten no response from God. But you see, the Lord wants you to know today that He will make it happen. All of the things that you are thinking of, the requests that you have made, the petitions you have, yes, the request that you have been crying night and day that He should do, the Lord is saying when the time is right, He says, I, the Lord, will make it happen. He would make you great, dear child of God. He said, a smallest family, the smallest of all families, shall become 1,000 people. That is, He said, the tiniest group will become a mighty nation. God is speaking about you. He's saying, though you may be small today, but He will bring such amazing greatness out of your life. Have you been found at that spot in life that you are saying, God, when will you do it? You have looked around you and everyone is simply making progress but you. You have been asking the Lord, when will you change my story? Dear child of God, sometimes you are thinking if you have done something wrong to God. The Lord is saying to you, though it looks like nothing is working around your life, but according to His word in Act 2 verse 39, was saying to you very clear that you will be blessed and it will be beyond you. It would extend to your children. It says it would extend also to their children, even those are far off. Even your relations in distant land will also get these blessings of God. They would not be excluded from the blessings that the Lord had promised to bring around your life. Dear child of God, you may have been stalked. You may be in one position right now. You may not be moving forward. And you think God is not concerned about you. He's saying at the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen. He's saying, I am the Lord. I would hasten my word to do it. But He's saying it would happen at the time appointed. You must realize today, dear child of God, that everyone has an appointment with God. And that time will come that you will receive your blessings without fail. You see, Job had this understanding. And that was why he said, I would wait till my change comes. He was saying, I would wait till my time appointed has come. He was going through some situations, dear child of God. You see, Job was faced with great hardship at the time. His wife even told him to curse God and die because it seems like there is no change within. But he knew that he needed to wait on God for His appointed time to come. Dear child of God, He says in the time of favor, He will hear you. In the time of favor, He would attend to you. Don't give up, dear child of God. Even when the situation seems like nothing is happening around you, God is working something out. He said in His word that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them that are called according to His purpose. Dear child of God, you have been called of God, and He had declared a blessing to you, dear child of God. You have been blessed, and no one can deny you that blessing. No one can stop you from getting to the place of your upliftment, but you need to trust the process. Dear child of God, you need to trust God. Sometimes we may not be able to have answers to all of the questions you have been asking. Then why do I have to wait? He's saying to you, be still and know that I am God. He's saying, wait on me. That was why the scriptures in Isaiah 40 verse 31 says, those that wait upon the Lord, He said they will renew their strength. He said they would mount up with wings as eagles. He says they will run and not be weary, dear child of God. I know that you have become weary. I know you have fainted. I know you have become tired. But He says you should renew within your inner man the words that He sends to you every day. Dear child of God, I want you to know and realize today that God has everything in place for you. He has everything working out for you. God cannot be wrong, dear child of God. He doesn't make mistakes. Dear child of God, God is always on time. God knows what to do and when to do them. We cannot twist the hands of God, dear child of God. We cannot force Him to move when it is not time for Him to move. That was why He said to you, at the right time. Take note of the word of God, Isaiah 60 verse 22. He said, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. I, the Lord, will do it. He says, have I not commanded it? Have I not said it? I will do it. He said he would do it. Nothing is hard for him to do, dear child of God. He said it and he would do it. He was the one that made the promise. He was the one that said he's going to come to your rescue. He said he's going to provide for you. He said you will become so great. He said your blessing would expand generations, dear child of God. He says those who are far off would also see of this. He was speaking about transgenerational blessing. But you are saying, what does it matter if nothing is happening to me right now? If nothing is happening within and around my vicinity? Job's life changed. Yes, when his time appointed came, everything was restored. Dear child of God, and the scriptures recorded that God blessed the latter life of Job more than how it was before. And amazingly, God also gave him life to enjoy the blessings that he gave to him. So do not be afraid. He's the one that have every of the plans. He's the one that has his purpose, dear child of God. And he said, I will do my own purpose. Yes, sometimes it may not go according to what we want. It may not go according to our timing. But God's timing cannot be wrong, dear child of God.